Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of the TypeScript Tea Time. I'm your host Mirko and hope you're having an awesome day today. Today we're going to go back to our daily questions. What I want to do is add a search functionality to our history, which is currently empty. So we gotta add some mock data most likely. And from there, it's at the actual search. So that's going to be fun, I think. Not sure how long this will take. After that, we kind of have some freedom of what we actually want to do. So yeah, let's just get started, I think. And I have a pretty good idea of what we're going to do. One of those streams earlier, we kind of got a very short prototype of it running. And that worked pretty well. I don't think I have it staged. Or stashed. No. So that's not an option. But what we can do, I think, is git stash apply to get some history here. Bams, like so. Then we go to settings and we just import all of that fun stuff. Right. And now we should have a history. There you go. Very nice. So that was easy. Throw all of those data O's. Be aware I did git stash apply. Apply does not remove the object from the stash. So the stash still contains this block history in English, German, and Japanese. That's the language name. So we got that run. And from here on, so what I want is either a button here to have something like history written down at this line, or I don't know, maybe we start with just a statically shown search column right there, here at the top, and then we work from there, possibly adding it to here to the top bar, so that it's not shown all the time. So you have a bit more screen space as a user if you want to. Just as a side note, this large space is not there on actual devices. That's just due to the emulator for whatever reason. On actual devices, everything looks nice. In fact, even on white mode or light mode. Oh, now it works. Interesting. Earlier it was not showing this blue here. But that's only on the emulator again. I do like the dark mode much more, however. I like the contrast between this blue and the background gray. Alright, so let's do it. What I want to do is use a library called Fuse.js. Fuse.js.io. To those who not know it yet, it is fairly easy. If you click here on they kind of, for whatever reason, they decided to hide the example code. I don't know why. Actually, I find this very convincing. That's the word I'm looking for. So here in this case, we have a list of items, which are in this case books. We create this new Fuse instance from the books and which kind of keys we actually want to track and be able to look for. And then we just say fuse.search and then give it some pattern. This pattern, of course, is added by the user. And that's it. Then it just shows all the items. It does show the items, however, in a special format. So we have to kind of do another mapping to get back to the original, because it does give everything an index of how good it matches the ref index. Sorry, that's the index, I think, here on the original object. I think it also gives you a value, like a score, how good the the input actually matches these individual terms or items inside the books array. So let's get that run rocking. Do we have this? We want to use yarn, because I am using yarn in this case. Does it come with TypeScript? npm Fuse.js, Fuse.js, and TypeScript included. Perfect. So this immediately tells you that it comes with TypeScript types. So that's useful for us, because now we can just go to our history, I think. And I suppose we can just go inside of the history screen, as this is not anything that needs to be persisted or anything. It is only on the view level. I don't think we need any kind of putting it into Redux or into which we are using as a global store. So that's useful as well. In here, we have the history screen, which looks like this. So we have the individual entries, like ordered by date, because for every date you do exactly one, you have exactly one entry by design of this app and of the method. And then we have the answers inside of there. So we can, most importantly, we want to look for date, I think, but then probably also for just for the general, for the actual text inside of there. We do need to remap things ever so slightly, however. Because down here, we currently only on the item level create the information that is put together. Although that's not too terrible, thinking about it. Is it? Let's start simple. Inside of here. So if this is empty, we return a list. That's fine. Then from here on, I think we want to have the code that was written down here. Philip. Go. Import Fuse, of course. Bams. And mapped history, blah, blah, blah. So this returns us some Fuse.search options. No, it returns Fuse search result. Const search results is equal to what he says. Then const map search results, let's say, is equal to search results.map. And on this result, we have the score, we have the ref index, and we have matches. Probably how often the word is inside of there, I'm not 100% sure, but we do have the item. So this should be, again, the original object, pretty much. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's the same format. So we can just use this one instead. We have to, of course, use some different keys. Const keys equals to... we cannot. We thought about making this type safe, but I don't think that's that simple. We do have the date. And then we have... questions is not that simple, actually. Well, let's start with date. That's worth a lot. So if I do, for example, 0728 or just 28 maybe, then what do we see? Is it actually doing the thing already? It is running. Is running. Let's reload. Not 100% sure. Maybe it didn't catch it up because we added the Fuse binary only just now. What if we do 22? That doesn't work. Something is missing. Yarn dev once more. We should see less, I think. But we don't. So console.log. Give me the search results, please. There we go. Three, 2, 1. These are identical. That's not quite what we are looking for, right? Something is missing. Something is missing. If I do something like 2022-07. Oh, now that works. Ah, because 22 matches this very first parameter, and thus it does not add anything. But if we do this, it shows this one at the very top. Ah, very nice. Okay. And as you can see, the others are still there, most of them, if we don't mess things up. Like, so now 23 is at the very top, interestingly. Now it's completely empty. And if we don't put in anything. Oh, no, this is interesting. We don't put in anything, it doesn't show anything. So we probably want something like if web search results.length is empty, then we want the mapped history news first, otherwise we take the results. Maybe we pull this even out into conf data is equal to pieces. Then we can just say data down there. So now that should work. 2022-07, 22, 22 up there. Perfect. That seems to be all right-ish. And that was very, very simple, I would say. We have some version of search. Now we just have to actually make it available to the user. And what I want to do for that is, since we are using React Native Paper, I want to use this search bar. I do think we are on the right version. Native Paper 12.1, perfect. React Native Paper and PM. They are now at 4.12.4. Let's try to actually upgrade. Package.json, native paper, there it is. yarn. And then we immediately test it while we're actually working with it, which is why I wanted to do that now instead of later. Android. Did it work? No apps connect. Yep. Okay, looks good at the very least. There we go with our history. Do we currently have 22 inside of here? That's probably not what we want actually. But this looks good. So now we have basically the same functionality as before, except that we have this code additionally, which takes some CPU circuits. So it's not much yet that we added. From here, I want to add search, and yes, I want to have first of all this, then yeah, that also looks good. Take it. Query is a string, most likely at least. And we take the search. Bar above the flat list. Import. So this needs to be JSX. To do localize or translate. Always important. So now if we go to history, and on that front, let me just go to navigation app and set our initial route to history. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. There is our search. Very nice. That's a good start. Now we can take our value. Where is it? Search string. There we go. In fact, we can even do this. Which describes slightly more what I actually want to say. Because if there is nothing to no search. Hey Avio, good to see you. Cheers on you. Welcome back to the stream. Today I'm back on the daily questions app. How have you been doing? Everything good on your end? So let's try this. 0725. It works. Nice. We can even clear it. Oh, that's all. That's just that comes from the component, which is nice. Very cool. So that's good. Do we? We need slightly more data, I think. Let's just make a very, very quick version here. Blah blah blah. Okay, perfect, confirm it. And that should be in our history as well now. There we go. We use the history when we change navigation. No, we don't. Okay, perfect. Very nice. All right, what I wanted to see is whether this down below actually matches properly. Because from time to time when I'm working with flat list, the padding or the margin from the view around it clips over parts of the application or parts of the list items. But we're fine here. Very nice. So we can now already search for date. Search by date. And also just look for 27. There we go. So that's not terrible. Now, the next fun part. To make this actually useful, I think, we should allow the user to look for specific strings. So when I'm using this, it's kind of, hey, Yoshi boy.
Yoshi Boy 18303 joined our tea time.
Actually, when I was learning Japanese, my called each other tandem partners, like my language partner, his name was Yoshi. Are you from Japan, or is that just your name? Or is it about Yoshi from Mario, Super Mario? Welcome to the stream. So where was I? When I use this search, because I'm maybe the top user of this app. You're American. Okay. So it's probably about Mario. When I'm using this app, sometimes when I write my highlights, I sometimes come back and then I'm looking specifically for those highlights, like a specific birthday of a friend or whatnot. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, cool. Very nice. I'm into gaming as well. What kind of games do you typically play? So, for this to make it work, our data model does not quite match this. Our data model does not quite match it. So, what we need to do, I think, map history news first. Is this a function? Yeah, it is. Okay. We can, I think, just do something like this. Search string, or searchable. Mention the games. When the programmer is happy. Oh, very nice. Yeah. I hope you don't write too many wall hacks. Just kidding. I think it's fun to write these kind of hacky things. I would like to do that at one point. Without using them, of course. I'm terrible at shooting games, I think. I did play a lot of like Modern Warfare. The first one was a pretty good game, but as soon as it became competitive multiplayer, man, those people in there are way too good. So basically I want to do this, except that I call it entry dot Fuse dot map. Oh, we don't have the answer? Okay, we can fix that easily. We just do the following. We map once more. So the answer comes actually from... Where is the question? Question entry dot... Oh no, the answer is there. Never mind. Entry dot... all I want to do actually is take all the questions. And normally I would write questions here, be aware of that. But this is persisted, and it's persisted on an Android phone, and you only have like 2 megabytes of space when you're using async storage. So, and since the idea is to use this app for multiple years, data actually piles up quite a bit. Yeah, I play mainly on the Xbox. What do you expect for me to get tags on there? I don't know. There's a streamer. He originally I watched him always on Twitch. MB Crump. He's doing hacking PlayStations. So that might be something interesting. And maybe some stuff can actually be ported back to some ideas. If you're interested in that stuff at all. He was originally here on stream on Twitch, sorry. And he was the person that actually encouraged me to start streaming. So I'm very, very grateful to him. If you give him a follow, say hi from me. If you see him live, for example. I'm not sure if he even does live streams anymore. So let's take all these questions, and I just want to take all these answers. A stands for answer, and again, the reason why I did this very, very short version is because the space actually matters in storage. And now we have kind of a searchable string here. So if we go down here, let's just console the log. What are you programming usually? Started programming 2020 when the pandemic hit. Yeah, that was a good time, I think. I mean, it wasn't too much to go out anyway, right? So why not start coding? Like so. So it's an array, and as you can see, now we have the numbers first, or depending on the question answers. Some questions give you a short introduction to this app. Every day you answer some questions, like, did I do my best to set clear goals today? And then you give yourself a number between 1 and 10. 0 stands for 10. Let's just say a 9. And then usually, or if you go from the very beginning, you insert the number and then the next question comes up. You insert the number and then the next question comes up, and so on and so on. And you do a little review of your day. And the goal is to see what you want to do better and then improve on the next day in particular. The ones that are really, really searchable is this kind of history, I think. Or highlights, sorry. What was my personal highlight today and why? Other people might actually add different questions to their list, and then they can search for those. Yeah, I think a lot of people had this situation with the pandemic, so you made the best out of it. Currently working in C# or coding in C# and Java. Nice. I recently got picked up C#. Like today is my 15th day. And after 5 days, I finally got authentication running. Man, the authentication was terrible. I'm using ASP.NET if you know that maybe. Okay, so we have the searchable string. Now we can just index it as well here in Fuse. Searchable string, thank you, GitHub Copilot. By the way, I bought GitHub Copilot eventually. Maybe Vio, that's some news for you. I decided to actually buy it. It's just too good. And since I'm writing a lot of TSX, and you can't use AWS Amazon Code Whisperer, I decided that it is time for me to pick up GitHub Copilot for good. If you're recording in Java, recommend installing IntelliJ IDEA. It's a good job. Wait, I won't get back to Java. I originally started with Java in school and then in university. But I don't know. Java is missing a lot, and it's so verbose. It's a great language still, but it's not the language that I want to learn at this point, at least. That's why I picked up C#. I'm usually a TypeScript developer, so in the JavaScript ecosystem, but I consider myself a TypeScript product developer. So the jump from TypeScript to C# is not that large, because the main architect of C# is apparently yeah, absolutely. It's a great language. There's no doubt about it. There's a reason why it's used so extensively, including on Android. But also on banking is, I think, most of the banking stuff is in Java because it has a high degree of safety. One thing that I was always annoyed of, and that I like that it in C# at least you can enable it, is null pointers. And I don't know, maybe Java has warnings for null pointers already, but I didn't know about, or I don't know about it. If it has, please tell me. Like if you, for example, here in TypeScript, if you have the right compiler settings, most importantly this strict setting or strict null checks, then if you have something like I don't know, let's see, an array dot find x maps to x equals 1 const result is equal to, then you see that result might actually be undefined. So yeah. Oracle bought a lot at some point. Away the question. So you're very, very happy with the Java coding. What kind of projects are you working on? So we have the searchable string, and that's it. I think that's it. Now we can search for league, and there we go. Help my new colleague, and my new colleague taught me blah blah blah. Nice. That's it. We did it. That was easy. That wasn't too bad at all. We have to translate this, so let me use use translation. Yes, that one. We have it. Yeah, it already. So let's call this one translate of history : search. Okay, it's just search. That should be fine. And with that, Oracle did a good job maintaining it. Oh, okay. But you didn't actually notice it, right? When they bought it, wasn't that already like 10 years ago? So we get TypeScript errors because history : search is not assignable, or does not exist at this point. Let's go to the translations. Somewhere we have history here, I hope. There it is. And we can say search. Done. And now we have TypeScript errors down here. In German, this is Suche. And down in Japanese, I actually have to look this up. So let's pick the Microsoft. You learned that. Okay. Yeah. So this site from Microsoft is very, very useful if you ever have to do translations yourself. You can just insert the search term. For example, in our case, the search term itself is the word search. And then you see what word Microsoft is using in their different products. For example, in Forefront Identity Manager 2010, they use Kensake. And in Xbox 360, they use Kensake. Or in Active Directory, at some point, they actually use Kensake Ho. And you can do that for all kinds of languages, like all kinds of languages. I don't even know all of them, like Marathi or Malay, Luxembourgish. Nice. Didn't expect that to be a search language possibility. Why not? Very useful if you ever have to do it yourself. So now we have search here in English. If I switch over, that was the wrong button, to Japanese. See? Yeah, Kensake. Very nice. Very Nietzsche. Talk about Yoshi. How about I might use the sound play for random points? The Discord bot. Best thing ever. Yep. I feel you. In particular, when you get the volume mixing right, then sound effects can be so nice. On my Windows, I actually disabled all sounds completely. I don't get any. All system sounds. I don't actually get any like bing or doo-doom or da-dum, da-dum. All of those, they don't happen for me. Okay, so we got that one rocking. Fair enough. So now let's do some CSS, I think. Do we need some? No, we actually don't need CSS. The question is what do we do with the search icon? Do I just show this all the time? It would be nicer if it would be up there, right? But putting it up there is actually surprisingly difficult. Because we do not, this part of the application, this header here, and the actual component are fairly separate. And transporting data between those two is not trivial. I do this here in the daily questions. For example, this button here is used to reset the answers for today. But the way I'm doing that is by going through Redux. Using Redux right here, however, would mean I persist the search state, which would be alright, I guess. Would be alright, right? You should see me in Visual Studio Code. That is built and currently brain dead. Hi. What is the insider's build of Visual Studio Code? You can explain on that? Haven't heard about it yet. It's not the nightlies, right? How do I want to do this? persisting it would mean that if you close the app, so the why I'm so struggling is the history automatically gets persisted, and if we add a setting to the history, it will also like show the search bar or just the content of the search bar. It will get persisted as well, which means the next time you open your app, you will actually have your search results still there, which might be confusing to some people. That's what I'm struggling with. Same builder. Oh yeah, okay. So it's you mean the nightlies? I think that's what they call it. Well, do they call it insider build? VS Code nightly. Oh, it's called insiders. I always thought they call it nightly. Inside. Yeah. I'm on the early adopters TypeScript version. Second. Compiler. Script. TypeScript. Script. I was fairly sure there was a setting, and I did enable it, but maybe I returned. Yeah, maybe nightly is just the standard name for these kinds of things. I think Google Chrome uses Chrome nightly build. They call it nightly build for developers. I think nightly is a fairly common name. How do we do this? Just leave it like that? Remove some... We could have a button. That's first of all. Do we want to have just a little bit of spacing in there? Yeah, probably. So style. Let's just say margin top H. Yeah. 12. Should be the same. Well. I guess 8 is fine. All right. So feature search history version 1. Done. Yeah. Now my music stuff, and I also wanted to. To tweet that I'm actually. Well. They tweet, but whatever. So that's one version. Now let's try to move this into the history nav. How do I do the? Yeah, we have the reset dailies bar. I think that's a different. Dailies confirmation dialog. Start. When is this used? Yeah, that's the other one. Where do maybe I go into the navigation. Oh, I messed up. This does not need we are not allowed to change that value, of course. Otherwise it will show a different default route. Also, that's gone. But that should be easy to fix. We just git fix it, web apps. Earlier this week I learned that if you use git lens, you can actually, on the last commit, you can actually revert it and do it, and then you have it back here in your history, and you can just commit stuff again or stage stuff once again, which is pretty cool. So go back here to history nav and let's check how we do the raw navigation. A different one? No, is that it? Raw content. Here, the header. Here it has dailies app bar. Here we don't even show the header. We write the header slightly different. Oh yeah, that's also fine. Then in it is git commit -- amend to change the previous commit, what you have changed. It's slightly different from this one. Not slightly, you can do the same thing, but this one actually reverts your commit, which is much more simple. So let's look into this one. How do we do this? So we have the base app bar, and we extend it with the help of another app bar action. Okay, I think we can take that, copy it, put it over into the history, and let's see how that looks like. The history app bar. Right? That one, we don't need this one. This one, we don't need that one. No confirmation, we don't need. And then we have in a, not even sure whether it works. Where is my search bar again? Just search bar, right? This one. I didn't find it. The navigations app. If I go to history, we have header shown. Header shown is false. Because I can go back. How do I set this header? Oh, right here. Okay. That didn't work. And this is now called history app bar. You're not happy, my friend. Check navigation options is not assignable to raw navigation options. What did we write earlier? Like 10 seconds ago. reload. But the navigation does not get reloaded. Oh, it didn't work. It did not work. I did not save this file. Gotta save the file. There we go. This is beautiful. I love it. I want it like that. I'm currently using Express. Very nice. Yeah, Express is great. Simple to use. Very easy to start with. Very easy. This does not quite look the way that I want it to. We have something like collapsible, yes. So, equals true, or just collapsible. Yeah. What? Let's look into the documentation. On icon press. The accessibility label. Search accessibility label. Are we looking at the right version? Please choose. If you're looking for the documentation, why do they use the release candidates documentation? That's terrible. It does not have collapsible. Oh. Oh. Have you used Express before? That you normally using C# and Java? Placeholder, search accessibility label value. Placeholder. Icon, unchanged text on icon press. Input style. Where is the header, by the way? It should show this header for doing anything else. It's Java and oh yeah. Trying it out a lot, huh? It's nice. Nice to see things. Things are broken. I have a feeling. Did I not save this? No, that's not the problem. Views that are only used to lay out the children or otherwise don't draw anything may be automatically removed from the native hierarchy as an optimization. Set this property to false to disable this optimization and ensure. Oh, that's something completely different. That's like completely different. It is completely different. What I want is something like the icon. Do I use icons anywhere? Icons are weird to use, yeah. Actually, I want an icon button. Icon button. You're having issues with IntelliSense. Ah, that sucks. That is always very annoying. The tooling doesn't work the way you want it to. I suppose the name is search. Is it? No. Magnifier? No. Ah, come on. Material, design, icons. Pages. No. Yeah, sometimes the input functionality, what do I magnify? Oh, great. Magnify. Ah, there we go. Sometimes the auto import recently started importing with require for whatever. For me in that one project. So on click, on press, we want to call use state. We call this, that's the wrong use state snippet. I want the other one. So search and search shown. False by default. We import from React. So useState is a way to persist basically some data across re-renders in React. Shown. Okay. We can do this. If, let's see, search shown question mark, then do this. Here we can use, oops, search. That didn't work. Magnifier is not a, that's old. It's not working. Great. Hello, another Cedric. Our cats actually say hi to you. Having the previous state, which is exactly search shown previous. It's still not re-rendering for whatever reason. Because there's a good idea, definitely. Good to see you. You've worked with React, it seems. I have a feeling that the navigation application. You work with Expo. Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. Welcome, welcome. How did you find the stream? Can you tell me? That is very, very useful for me. Twitter. Oh, so it was actually worth. Nice. It was actually worth it. Happy to hear. Thank you. Welcome from Twitter. This is TypeScript Tea Time. I'm Mirko. Here's to you. We're currently developing the Daily Questions app. An application that helps you develop positive habits over a very, very long time in terms of have positive long-term habits, not just do it 2 weeks and then never do it again until you get reminded of it because you don't do it, but instead keep at it and then really, really develop the habit that you want. Basically, it just asks you a couple of questions each day. By default, it asks you 7 questions, 6 of which come from a leadership coach, whose name is Marshall Goldsmith, and he worked with a lot of CEOs and high-level people. And he did write me an email, actually, that he loves my app and that he will recommend it to clients, which made me like, oh my goodness. The basic idea is you get these questions every day and then you answer them. I've been doing this for a long time, so you answer with numbers, but this app can also give you full text questions. And what we are actually doing currently is adding search functionality. We can already search, in fact, like colleague. There we go. And it does actually fuzzy search. If I write colleague wrong, it's still showing me the results. Very nice, right? The not so great part is if you look for 22, it matches always the date 2022. So it doesn't change anything. If you're interested in it, it's very, very short, the actual code. History screen. We are using a library called Fuse.js. Let me just share the link with you. It's super simple to use. If we go to the getting started, you have an array. Let me zoom in a bit. You have an array with specific objects that have some keys. You say new fuse of the array and which keys it should index, and then you start searching by some pattern. And that's pretty much what we are doing in our app as well. We have a list up here. We transform it a couple of times, in fact. We index the date and some searchable string, which is just the collection of all the answers that you have, and then we call fuse.search by the search result, the search query. And that's all. And with that we have Impro does not match. Interesting. Finished. That might be a limit of Fuse. Maybe there's some limit of how far it looks. Interesting. Still. And that's pretty much all the logic that we have. Did I share the link? No, I didn't. To fix the search height. Ah, you're absolutely right. I want end and not question mark. Oh. Big brain. There it is. Nice. Very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. Recently, I wrote too much C#, so I kind of forgot everything about TypeScript. Now I'm just saying stupid things. No, you're absolutely right. It's end. Otherwise, it would have evaluated to true, and then it would have rendered true, which does not render in React. With the end, it will take whatever is on the right side as soon as this is true. And if it's false, it will not render anything. Nice catch. Very nice catch. Thank you. You deserve some tea. Awesome, great. Be aware the cats are actually happy now. Depending on how happy your messages are, they might start being happy, or if you say something that is very unhappy, they might be like, oh no. But they have a fixed list of words, so you gotta have, oh, now they are kind of unhappy. Oh. We built that last week. That was a lot of fun. So the question is on press. On key press? Can we actually? We might actually have to build it ourselves, I fear. On icon press. Okay, perfect. Very nice. On icon press, we want to have. By the way, I think we can now make this slightly more simple again. That should work as well. We do not have too many re-renders here, so yeah, that's the same. Const toggle search. That's what he says. Search. Search. What kind of project are you working on? I was very interested in hearing the stories from you guys. Here I needed to do translate. Actually, we already have a translate term, right? Just need to call. Oh, it's not value, it's placeholder. Placeholder equal to T of history search. Bams. And that should be it. And on the other hand, we want here, this icon button should be search shown and, but we want not. So they are like opposite. When this icon button is there, the search bar is not there. When the search bar is there, the icon button is there. Look at it. Now we just have to find a way to communicate, which is not trivial, unfortunately, without also persisting the data. Do we just persist the data? Oops. Come on. Oh, I cannot actually write. Ah, because I do not have a set state. Were they happy? I didn't see it. Again, it's a fairly small list. It's sentiment.js that we use for that. We could register our own stuff, like whenever somebody says TypeScript, they will be super happy, for example. Currently, they are kind of happy. The owl, the blue cat, was like, oh, what's happening? Yeah, we're using sentiment to do that, and the idea of sentiment is it has a list with specific values. For example, cats. Here it takes 5. Cats are totally amazing, and then you can have some extra options to make the score higher when somebody says this word. We could add some ourselves. If you have some suggestions, feel free. Currently playing Apex. I don't even know what game that is. Apex Lit. Free-to-play battle royale hero shooter game. Yeah. I'm too old. I have a feeling I'm getting too old. What was I about to do? We do not set the value. I wanted to remove that from history bar, history screen. There it is. Basically, we need this up here. I think also this one. And then we can use, what was the value? Value search query, and we can just copy paste. There we go. So that should work. We can type in here. The problem is now to communicate the data from up here. Oh, we cannot see the, oh no, damn it. The remove icon is not there. That's the wrong one. Yeah. What else do we have? I guess we have to start using the style. Autofocus, autocorrect. Actually, we want autofocus. except to do accessibility. And yeah, glad you have that great time. It's amazing. Do we get into trouble with accessibility as well? I'm not sure. Hopefully not. Autocorrect, no. Autocomplete. On scaling. Caret hidden. Is that the... Is caret the X? The accessibility area, clear button mode. And the clear button should appear on the right side. Let's just say always. Was it always? Yeah. Yeah. Problem is that it's too small. I suppose we have to use some style. Inline image left, inline image padding. Autofill, input style. Max length. Font size multiplier. Lines. So change, blah blah. One. Turnkey. Probably not it. Search accessibility label. Text entry. Ooh, does the documentation show anything on that one? The icon. Let's, for first try, just set max width to 80%, 20%. There's. Okay. How do we make this one proper? We always want to go to the side unless but this icon is pretty much fixed in size, which means the value that we have to use for the max width is going to be different each time. I mean, on this screen it's 90%, not even percent. Yeah, 80%. But on a different screen, this will probably be different. Is there a way so that we can say that it should move to the right? CSS pros out there, if you have some idea, very much open to do that. Because on a very small screen, this will disappear. I'm very sure. This will disappear again if we just use max width. We would have to basically calculate it from the current size. minus this icon. Let's check with the element inspector, maybe. Can I take the view out there? That's too much. Here. This theme component. Yeah, that's it. That's the right one. Here we see the max width, 80%. Direction row. If we invert the flex direction, does that work? No, then the items will be inverted, right? That's not what we want. What I want is, I actually want to start from the right side and then go to the left. Makes sense. Here's a dumb idea. If we put this inside of another view, does that change anything? Yes, it does change. But it changes. It doesn't change it for the better. Not at all. Well, we could make it like go over this item as well. No, we cannot, I think. Can we? Wait. Here we have the header, app bar action, and the content. I'm not even sure why the content actually gets overwritten. Anyway. Should we put this into app bar content as well? Does this work? No, not working. Oh, no it doesn't. Never mind. RN paper search bar. That was not showing. Oh. Just as a one icon press is this icon, right? Why does it not show anymore? Like it only shows when we actually write something. Wait, was it showing earlier and I just didn't write something? That the problem? No, it doesn't show. Okay. Too bad. That would have been good. How do we make this? I mean, I can make it 80%, right? And we just hope that it always works. I guess. Can we improve this? Or up, or what's the word I'm looking for? Responsiveness. Yes. Okay, that's okay-ish. We might actually want to use this app by action for our icon button. Now, got a disability row button. And then we have to do the access later. All of these, put them there, and save. Okay. Then let's go into the history screen and just remove this friend again. Now we have to think about how we transport the information from up here to down there, because they don't really know each other. But that's going to be fun. I suppose we use Redux, and then we could clear it each time we load. But do we want to actually persist that data? We could also add another slice, which is for history but not persisted. That would work as well. Slightly annoying. Or is there a way? Have you used Redux before? In particular, Redux persist ignore property. Actually, what I want to do. How to ignore keys works. I'm starting my settings with React persist. I would like to ignore some of them, to have them reset on every restart, for example, after a crash. It's possible to add an array of reducer names as blacklists or whitelists. Exactly, that's what we are doing here as well. In our store, we see the persist configuration, and we are whitelisting the history. So this corresponds to the different parts here. We store the stuff that's in the history, we store the stuff that's in the settings, the questions, some accessibility as well, particular from the settings. But we now have something that is specific to the history, but should actually not be persisted. So one obvious option would be to have another state just for that. But I would like to avoid that if it's possible. I'm afraid it's not possible. We could create a transform. Oh, well, man, but that's I'm trying to implement that functionality itself, but I think the code base of package is really focused on blacklisting users instead of properties. Okay. Or we take this transform. Transform would work. Transform is basically the, before actually persisting, Redux persists, runs it through the transformers, and whatever comes out of it will then be persisted. So we could take that. Although they are global, right? Oh no, they whitelist something. Can try that to ignore data. Just don't stay. So what do we get? He receives unknown any. So I suppose this is root state. Root state is defined down here. We do not have it. Okay. We do have access to history : history state. Then we write history whitelist down here. And take a short look at the documentation. Create transform, Redux persist. Create transform. Be working. Alright, transforms allow you to customize the state object that gets persisted and rehydrated. There are several libraries that take some common implementations. Mutable, blah 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 blah. When the state objects get persisted, first get serialized with JSON string defined. Parts of your state object are not mappable to JSON objects. The serialization process may transform these parts of your state in unexpected ways. For example, the JavaScript set type does not exist in JSON. When you try to serialize a set, it gets converted into an empty object. Seriously? Okay, didn't know that. Good to know. Probably not what you want. Absolutely. Below is a transform that successfully persists a set property. It uses inbound state. Good. I see one problem with this approach. So, are you not happy? 2 to 4 arguments. HSS, ESS. Hydrated state? No. Persist TypeScript. This reducer, root state. What is ESS and what is HSS? That's a big question here. I suppose this is hydrated state. This is E does not match serialized state. Oh no, it's HSS. Transform inbound, HSS, ESS, S. I don't know. Unknown any. inbound state is currently unknown. So that's the HSS is the inbound state, which means it is history colon history state. That's all right. Then after that we have any. I guess we can just, oh, that's the outbound state. This is any, we don't care. We don't care at all. And then we have S, I'm not sure. Inbound state dot wouldn't you be okay? History is history inbound state dot history, and another inbound state dot, oh, we haven't added it yet. So that's one option. To be honest, that's so much more complicated than just creating a separate reducer, I think. And in particular, we have unexpected behavior then, because we have to add stuff that we want to persist from of the history state. So I would just make another one, I guess. So history.slice, we copy this into history. Oh. You're having fun, that's good. History dot unpersisted dot slice. So remove all of this fun stuff. Historic entry we do not need. History we do not need. History state receives search string, search query, search string. How do we call it? History app. We called it search query. Search query is a string, and by default search query is equal to did too much C#. In C# you would do this. In JavaScript, the TypeScript, you do this. It's an empty string. Let's call this one history unpersisted. What's the opposite of persisted? Opposite of persisted. Carry on. Antonyms: give up, no, quit. Distance. Ignorance. Ignored. No, ignored history state doesn't. It sounds like it's. I'm not using it. Let's call it unpersisted. It's fine. Unpersisted history. Unpersisted history. And then I will also call it unpersisted history dot slice with a minus. So all of this fun code here can go away. Set search query receives the state and it receives an action which is of type, payload action, and that has the search query of type string. Search query state is equal to state dot search query is equal to action dot payload dot search query. Done. Now we have to hook this up. That's important. Otherwise, nothing will happen. To do that, we go back into the store. We get the state from, I guess, from there, and persisted minus history. A persisted history reducer. Persisted history. So we have to hook this up. If you're wondering whether we, if you don't want to persist it, then don't write it into the persist config. I think that doesn't work because we use the persist config to generate the store from the very beginning. So that's not an option. We add it here and then we ignore it instead, or not whitelisted for persistence. You, my friend, here. Or do we? Wait. Yeah, I think we do. Unpersisted history reducer is unpersisted history. Done. So what is missing? Argument of type reducer. Combined state is not assignable to reducer. All of what he says. This is hard to read. Search query is missing in type history state. What? Oh, this one's wrong. Unpersisted history state. There we go. Ah, that's good, happy. That's good, happy, me happy, everybody's happy. Cat's happy, yeah! Yeah! Right on time. Okay. Now. Up in the navigation. In here, on change text. So from Redux, we currently get stuff that we don't use. Set search query. There we go. And we want to have the search query. Search query state.unpersisted history.search query. And now we can use these props to do exactly what we want. Search history, search query, props, search query, set search query. So this one we can remove. You are not happy because you have to go down. search query. That it? And now we have to use it in our history screen. We have the history, we have the search query. State dot unpersisted history dot search query. And down, down, down at the bottom of the C, we can take the search query and put it in Fuse, and then we're good to go. Does it work? Will it work? You can guess. First I will put some more tea, but this is a tea time after all. If we work too hard, the tea gets all cold, right? So, will it work? We will know. Let me just refresh at least once. Oh, we already get errors. Something happened. If I write finished, it works! Woo! Nice! That's good. Very cool. We did it. Very Nietzsche. Yep. It works. Very nice. I'm very happy. This is another nice upgrade. We had to do a bit of Redux workarounds, however. Just But other than that, I'm very, very happy about how this turned out. So now we have to do some accessibility. Accessibility is fun, more or less. What we need to do is do something like this. So this, by the way, we can rewrite as just this, right? And then we say a open search button, show search, and show search li hit. Another Cedric, if you're still there, have you worked with accessibility before? Accessibility can be kind of rough, at least with what I've found so far. Testing is surprisingly hard. Yes, but I'm in a meeting right now. Oh, okay. You're very, very quick for for a meeting. You are very, very quick. It's one of the boring ones, huh? Autofocus. We want to have one more value here. Autofocus. Have you in the background? Thank you. I appreciate it. Accessibility dot autofocus disabled. So we want probably not. Do I have like a disabled? Did I write a selector for that? No, I didn't. Okay, great. Oops, don't remove you. So now we can use autofocus if we destructure it here as well, autofocus. Okay, so that's one part. And then we need accessibility. And accessibility and helps users. And yeah, I'm aware of what it does. The question is search accessibility label. Accessibility label for the button. Okay. So in this case, it's this one. Accessibility. It's hidden. Role. Search. If it, maybe it's set automatically, I'm not sure. To do check whether this is set automatic. Unfortunately, I do not have I did not get the Android emulator set up properly to make text to speech or these voice assistants work. So I cannot really do it on stream. Instead, I will do it with my phone, because there I have it properly set up. What else do we have? Accessibility live region indicates to accessibility whether the user should be notified when this view changes. Okay, I've heard about it. Accessibility state. This should be. Ah, no, it's a What is this? This is a boolean, huh? No, it's type accessibility state. What is type accessibility state? Disabled, selected, checked, busy, or expanded. Not quite what we want. What else do we have? Accessibility value. Value, that's important. That is search query. What else? Auto capitalize, auto correct. Clear accessibility label for the button. This is read by the screen reader when the user taps the button. Ah, yeah, perfect. Clear search ally label. Exactly. Did I write ally or did I typically write A11? I actually wrote A11. Yeah. Okay. So that works. What else do we have? Do we have more for clear? Clear icon, clear text on focus. Probably not what we want. That would just be annoying, I think. What else do we have here? I think we were at C. Clear text on focus, clear icon. That's perfect. I think the X is nice. Default value. Save full screen UI. Wait. There's a small amount of space available around the text input. The OS may choose to have the user edit the text inside of a full screen text input mode. Okay, I don't know. Editable enables return key automatically. Don't think that's it. Yeah, there's so many properties that are not described here in the documentation. That is kind of confusing. Search accessibility label, we have that one. Yeah, clear, we have search. value, we have unchanged text, blah, 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 blah. An accessibility hint is probably what we also need. Anything else? There's quite a bit of properties, right? To go through. No, change. We don't need any of those, I don't think. Pointer refs, ref, reject responder termination, vendor hardware texture, return key label. Line. No, I think that's it. Yeah. All right. We have only 1, 2. That's a duplicate. 3, 4. Do we have accessibility? No, we are missing accessibility label. Unfortunately, I don't actually know where this refers to. Where does this refer to exactly? Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. No, I cannot calculate, can I? Yeah, possibly 5 times 3. 15 different text strings that we have to provide now. Oh. I think I will do that. So I will do it once so that you see what I'm actually having, what I do have to do. I go into translations, I go up to English in the history object, which is somewhere, colon, maybe. There it is. And then we have to provide values. So this is show search input, which then we have the corresponding hint. Displays or hides the do we not have search accessibility hint? No, that's not an option. Oh, okay. Then we have to put it inside of the label, which is annoying. In that case, we remove that one. Plays or hides the search input field. Oh, wait. If we hide the input field, we should probably we should probably clear the search. Otherwise, this will be complicated. Where do we do that? I can press here, toggle search. You do more. Actually, const hide search is we want to toggle the search, but we also want to remove the search string. Set search query empty. Yep. There we go. So, right. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, good. Let's see here. What else do we need here? So displays the search li hint, which is not existent. Instead, we write this one to the left. That's good. So we have it here, we have this one as well. And then maybe we write accessibility hint is covered within the accessibility label because search bar does not expose a search accessibility hint prop. Okay. Next one. Research clears the current search input. And search li hint. Yeah. Search li hint is I think that should be, my guess is that this is the input and correspondingly we have a label typically. So this is just search input, search history input, yeah, on input for searches within the history for the within the history by for dates and answers. Like so. And that works. And now the fun part is that I have to translate all of these into 2 more languages, but I won't do that on stream. And I also have to double check where exactly everything refers to. Do check accessibility and maybe let's enable this one. This here has accessibility row button, etc. Am I right with accessibility? React Native Accessibility API. Somewhere we have something like search, accessibility role, search. Used when the text field element should also be treated as a search field. Okay, yeah, perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, very nice. I think that's it. Let's refresh once more. And then let's also look at it in the other mode, which is sprite mode, light mode. So that works. If I search something like keep we cannot find. Why not? It's there. Fuse.js limits. That's not Vue.js. Use. Oh, did I write Vue.js? Use.js. Is case sensitive. Default false. Include score. Default false. Include matches. Default false. We don't need all of that. Min match character length 1. That sounds good. Let me switch on the lights, and I think I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Brewing some more tea. Be right back. Right, let's back here. So the problem that we currently have is that for whatever reason For example, this word improving, it does not match imp software. It seems as if the search string is too long. So the pattern is expected. Want the complete one. Threshold. At what point does the match algorithm give up? Threshold of 0.0 requires a perfect match of both letters and location. Threshold of 1.0 would match anything. Oh. Oh. Wait. Oh, determines how close the match must be to the fuzzy location. The exact letter match. Okay, so we can pimp our query here ever so slightly, I think, by going into history screen. Yeah. So, is it a second? Oh, no. Here. So let's say location. Let's say at around the 10th character or the 20th character. Then we have the threshold, the distance. A distance of 0 requires the match to be at the exact location specified. We don't want that. The distance of 1000 would require a perfect match to be within 800 characters of the location to be found using a threshold of 0.8. What is our threshold? 0.6. So if we set distance, that's actually what we want to set, I think. And that should be it. It will be slightly higher on the consumption. But now, yeah, we can look for improvement and so on. Look at it. Does it... Why does it match improve inside of here? Well, I guess it doesn't match improve, but like something like productivity, maybe? Not 100% sure, but it does show improving at the very top, and that's the most important part. Alright, very nice. And 1000 characters should be more than enough, I don't think. At least for me. Let's say it like that. Nice. Very nice. So let's make this in 2 commits. I want to remove the tuning from the commit so that I know. Maybe I should make a comment right there. Show most longer messages get matched to. Awesome. What was the default distance? 100. Yeah. So only stuff that is within Um, exact letter match, which is distance characters away from the fuzzy location, would score as a complete mismatch. Yeah. So we want a relatively high value there for it to work. And still be fast enough. Okay, feature. Search bar in app bar. That's number one. And the other one is feature or fix, actually. Fix. Oh, we can also just ignore location. Oh, here we go. The default options only search the first 60 characters. So that's important. I think we're good with distance. If somebody really writes large messages, then we might at some point consider adding ignore location. But if we really get a complaint for that, we add that at the time. Probably better than using so fix search not matching complete. Let's use ignore location. Hey, Vietnam C developing.
Vietnamec developing joined our
I have
tea time.
never, unfortunately, written any C or anything that is close to the CPU. But I'm very happy that you're here. Cheers on you. How are you doing today? What are you working on? What kind of projects? I suppose you're a C developer. looking at the name. Or maybe it's Vietnamec. Probably not. Okay, because I'm Slovakia. Oh. Interesting. Vietnamec developing. Or something? I don't know. We have another person from Slovakia who's here from time to time. Cats also say hi. Very nice. Okay, let's ignore let's just use ignore. If this gets slow, I would probably be the first person to notice. And then I can fix it. Does it still work? Let's check here. Type system. I do. Did you see my Twitter posts or why? I cannot write, unfortunately, web apps using only the TypeScript type system. If I could, I might actually at some point do it, but I don't think that's... There was someone only recently. There was someone only recently who wrote the TypeScript compiler in the TypeScript type system. Let me find that for you. I haven't looked into it deeper, but it was shown by the lead architect of TypeScript. So I suppose there was something to it. Let me find that for you. There was, maybe we can look at it. That's not it. the TS config. I do use TypeScript, but currently there's not much TypeScript on screen. Here is some TypeScript. Is config. There it is. Let me try to find. There, Ryan Kavanaugh has shared. So, man, I hope the apple juice that I just drank, it's still good. Somewhere. Let me just scroll down and then, did he say compiler? No. Type system. Stuff about TypeScript. Oh no, the search is not working the way I wanted to. Nah, frickin', I hate these kind of blockers. Code testing? We are not doing that. Don't worry about it. Just kidding, no. Normally I test my code. In this app I have not tested a single line in terms of automatic testing, I think. My other app has a lot of tests. But this one does not have anything. Oh, where is it? Damn it. Can't find it. Oh, here. So, I'm not actually sure how he does it, but apparently type check of this function 7 expected 1 argument but got 0. So somebody had a lot of fun. Ronami. Developer at Wix, I see. Yeah. That is quite something, and I should follow. If they're that good. So, this is just unreasonably cool. If you had asked me if it was possible to do this, I would have said no. What's the Ryan Kavanaugh, who is the engineering lead of TypeScript? So, that's something. I do post from time to time on Twitter, or recently in particular, started doing that about the TypeScript type system challenges. There's a great one. So you're using TypeScript also, so that you at least know about the TypeScript type system. There's something called the type challenges of TypeScript. This nice little repository. And on that front, shout out to Finite Singularity, who told me about it. He's amazing. I was in the stream earlier today again. I'm often there. But today is our TypeScript tea time. So. And here you can, for example, easy pick and just take the challenge and web amps. Now you can, they have the question what you should do. In this case, implement the built-in pick function, which receives T or two generics without, of course, using the pick function itself. So I think I will do some of those at some point on stream, but not right now. At least not until I have committed the sin of committing. Yeah. And with that done, I just want to prepare a new release, which is 25 down here and 27 down there. And at some point I also have the version and copyright inside of there. 25. And these go up, 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 up. There's no chore. Where are you? Yeah. 24 and version 27, was it? Yeah. And that's it. No. Oh, I messed up the commit message. Git commit minus amend 25. Good. Very nice. So search is implemented, I would say. I have to. So the reason why I'm not releasing immediately. Oh, I can release. Never mind. So let's go to package JSON. What was the command? Deploy. Yeah, it's built. There it is. That's what I want to do. So this will create a new release. And build everything inside of the Google Play Store. So it will build on the Expo servers, and then it will be there. And then I push it to the Play Store and download it for my phone. I could also just. No, I will probably actually test it here on the emulator instead, using my phone to test the accessibility, because that is very, very hard to test on the emulator. And when that is done, I will create a new release, and everything's good. Everything good. Okay, so with that done, I think we have search finished. Again, we've used Fuse.js to fairly easily have fuzzy search implemented. Most of the time we actually spent on communicating between our app bar and the content. So between this here and the part of the component, because this part up here is rendered by the navigation. We do not really have access to whatever state is set up here down below where we actually need the state. We went around that by using Redux. Once again, in this case, we created a complete new slice that does not persist the history, but is still targeted towards the history. And yeah, why did we not persist it? Because we don't want to have it across app restarts. That would just be confusing, I think. Did I actually implement the part where when you remove this? Yeah, it resets it. Okay, perfect. Very nice. Great. All right. Move this one as well. And then we can write exclamation mark done. DQ up there, and done. By the way, my to-do list up there also uses Fuse.js to fuzzy match the words. For example, if I write exclamation mark doing match key, it still matches it and sets it into active mode. Do we want to do this now? That's the big question. Or are we good for today? We already streamed like 2.5 hours. I think I will be streaming again tomorrow, probably on C#. In particular, I have to talk to Hector again, because what we did last time was not 100% correct, or at least it was not the stuff that we did for the authentication with Keycloak and .NET. It solved the wrong problem. It was a solution, but it was a solution made for single page applications like React and all of that fun stuff, and not working well with Razor pages. So Hector, if you hear that, be aware of that. I found the solution after 3 more days of investigation. All right. I think with that, enough for today. I thank you so much for joining. Hope you had a great time. We implemented search in React Native using Fuse.js together with working in Expo and using the components given by React Native paper. And with that, thank you so much for joining. All of this was about the Daily Questions app, which is on the Play Store. So let's show that one ever so quickly. I can probably not. Oh, okay, that works. This nice little app. Essentially an app for you to help you build positive habits and to build them long term, and not just have a habit, like do it 3 times and then ignore it, forget about it. Instead, it asks you to do your best to develop the habits every single day, and it reminds you every day. Answer 6, 7 fairly simple questions, which are: did I do my best to set clear goals today? Did I do my best to make progress towards my goals today? Did I do my best to find meaning in what I'm doing today? Did I do my best to build positive relationships? Did I do my best to be happy today? And did I do my best to be fully engaged today? Which is kind of a meta question. If you're interested in that, Marshall Goldsmith, the person who was actually developed this kind of question type, or in particular applied it in this form to leadership training and employee engagement training, and did the research on that. He has a very short introduction here in the chat on YouTube, like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. That is very, very useful if you want to start out with it. Otherwise, you can just start and see how it works for you. Ideally, you read these couple of lines. They will help you. All right. And with that, thank you so much for joining. Hope you had a great time. I enjoyed the time with you very much. Let's see whether we can rate somebody. Pilky RC is online. Yeah, let's go to him. He's doing Mac development as far as I know. So that's going to be fun. See you next time, everybody. Goodbye then.